Air.
Happy Thursday and opening day of the baseball season. Said this yesterday, this should be a national holiday. It should be all-day games. Everybody should get the day off, no school. I don't get my way. I've gotten used to that. But it is opening day of the baseball season, which puts me in an especially good mood. I have a bigger vocabulary than that, but that's all I could come up with. It is the 28th day of March, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. We'll talk about opening day when we get to sports. We got a lot of things on our plate today. It is rather chilly. It's 36 degrees. Now, yesterday at this time when we began the program, on Wednesday, it was 36 degrees, but it never really got going. Did it feel chilly yesterday? Well, it was. We only got to 42. That was it. And we did have some rain, but we got off pretty dry compared to other locations. Up to the north of us, they had quite a bit of rain. We barely registered on the rain gauge at Papaneborn. We only had 4/100ths of an inch. Felt like we got more than that. Not a lot of rain in the forecast today. Still unsettled weather, though. The atmosphere has still got a lot of things going on. We'll start stabilizing a little bit overnight tonight into Friday. By the time we get to the Easter weekend, it's a fantabulous weather Mother Nature is going to give us for the holiday. We'll have all those details coming up, plus news. Another busy day in the newsroom. We got a lot of things to touch on. We'll get you informed of what's going on around the Wenatchee Valley. Sports, of course, opening day will be the main topic, but there's other stuff to touch on as well. And because it is opening day, we're going to replay the interview I did with former Apple Sox head coach Ed Nags. As you know by now, Ed is going to run. He's going to actually run 15 miles a day over the course of a month. Starting Wednesday, May 1st, he'll leave from Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, and he's going to run to Corvalis, Oregon. It's 419 miles. Going to take him about a month. He's going to run about 15 miles a day, all for a good cause. That's not just doing this to keep in shape, although he's in better shape than I am. We had a chance to visit with Ed Nags to talk about this great fundraising event and how you can be a part of it. We'll have that in the back half of the program. It's Thursday Pause for Pets. Let's see, Helen the dog needs a permanent home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and the usual shenanigans apply. 2 minutes after the hour, we start with our tour around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley as we do a slow dissolve to the Wenatchee Heights camera, sometimes referred to as the cross camera. Used to be a little bit closer to the cross. It's a little bit farther away now, but it's, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Again, we got some clouds, and we're going to have kind of clouds all day, all morning this morning. We'll start seeing some sun breaks this afternoon as this upper level low system will begin to move out of our area. But we're going to have morning clouds and afternoon sun, maybe a little bit of light rain off and on today. Let's head on up to Greens Knob. We used this camera yesterday. We had it turned around, pointed back towards the Chelan area. Now we have it pointed up towards the Stehekin Holden Village area. That's one of the farthest cameras we have up the Lake Chelan area is the Greens Knob camera. There are Sky-Fi towers even farther to the northwest than the Greens Knob camera, but I don't think we have cameras on those, but the Sky-Fi system goes up quite a ways up Lake Chelan way. McNeil Canyon, speaking of Lake Chelan, can we see it from McNeil Canyon? We kind of, sort of, not really. We have that moved a little bit more to the south than what we normally have. You can see a lot of clouds, though, hanging around the Lake Chelan area. McNeil Canyon, of course, named after journalist Robert McNeil from the McNeil-Lehrer Report. I don't know how McNeil Canyon got its name. I know how Hay Canyon got its name. I don't actually know that either. To Kashmir we go in the Hay Canyon camera. Look at the low clouds and fog just hanging over the Wenatchee River there. You can see a good swath, almost all of Kashmir for that matter, the Wenatchee Valley off into the distance, and a little bit of light snow. I noticed that this morning. We had the rain, not much, but it was never warmed up much, and there are some of the foothills around the Wenatchee Valley. They have just a little dusting of snow, and for some of our viewing areas, you may see a thunderstorm today. I kid you not. Now, to the north of us, mostly, we're not going to have any thunderstorms here in the Wenatchee Valley. Most of our viewing area won't. But if you're heading up north, Omak, Okanagan, Winthrop, Mazamba, Twisp, Orville, there is enough unsettledness in the atmosphere that there is a possibility of a late afternoon isolated thunderstorm with some brief gusts. It might be also a little windy up in the Omak-Okanagan area. We're not going to have any wind down here, but some of our viewing area that you see shaded in green does have a slight chance of a thunderstorm later on today during the warmest part of the day, and it's going to be just about normal for afternoon high temperatures. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. We're looking at some patchy fog, some clouds this morning, some sunshine a little bit this afternoon. Right now the snow level's at 2,200 feet, but there's no real moisture out there to worry about. We'll top off about 56, 35 for the overnight low tonight. Lots of clouds, very little chance of rain. We didn't even mention it, as a matter of fact. And then things start looking good. Friday, we start the warm up. High pressure will begin to come in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to start parking itself right over the Pacific Northwest by Saturday. We'll warm up to 61, 65 for Easter Sunday. 2 nice days of very mild temperatures, well above normal. Our normal high temperature this time of the year is 56. We'll be in the lower 70s on Monday and Tuesday. Don't forget, Monday is April 1st. And Tuesday, same deal. We cool down Wednesday, but once we get to basically tomorrow afternoon, we'll have nothing but bountiful sunshine until the middle of next week. All right, at your forecast, it's 6 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we got the news. You're watching the Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
Right now, during our spring tire sale, save up to $80 on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
It's me, Blippi! Blippi's back on stage with his brand new Wonderful World Tour.
I'm an excavator.
Sing, dance, and make new discoveries. In Blippi, the Wonderful World Tour with special guest Mika.
My name is Mika. Yeah, it's nice to meet ya.
For tickets and more, visit BlippiOnTour.com. Blippi, the Wonderful World Tour.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Lots of clouds, 36 degrees. We'll see some sun breaks this afternoon, maybe a stray raindrop. Temperature about normal, 56 degrees. We start warming up Friday, and we're in for a gorgeous Easter weekend. I'm liking it. It's 8 minutes after the hour. We start with this. Planners for the city of Wenatchee are recommending permit approval for the Garden City Academy. That is a Christian school established by Grace City Church. The project was the subject of a public hearing Tuesday afternoon at City Hall. It will be kindergarten through 12th grade. It would hold classes at the King's Orchard Church building at 610 Orondo Avenue. Now, neighbors in the area have noted concerns about increased traffic and possible noise, as well as past conflicts over noise and parking between Grace City and the neighbors of its main Sunny Slope campus. About 25 people attended the afternoon hearing. About 55 written comments were submitted, mostly opposing the plan.
My property shares a property boundary line with King's Orchard Church on the north side grassy area. The size of the field is much smaller than surrounding schools, recess playgrounds, or athletic fields. Let's see. So it started out, Garden City Academy in their first application said it was going to be for recess. That area was going to be fenced in for recess, and then it It was going to be used for recess and PE, and now I hear recess, PE, and sports. So I have a concern about that.
Most concerning is that people driving their children to and from the school only use Orchard Avenue for access to the facility. The only access to our development, Pershing Circle, is off of Pershing Street, which is accessed via 5th Street. This small dead-end street is already very busy with vehicular traffic from neighbors and from people driving to Sage Hills Church and Sage Hills School, which is located at the corner of Pershing Street and 5th Street. Further complicating the congestion is compromised pedestrian access between our development and 5th Street given incomplete sidewalks.
Columbia School, if it does shut down, half of those students will be coming to Washington Elementary, so we will have a massive increase in traffic coming to Washington Elementary right around those peak hours. And when we say we're increasing from 87 trips on that road to 868, I'm not a genius, but that's moving a decimal point. That's significant. Maybe it's designed to handle that many cars, but that is a massive shift in numbers.
Now, the city of Wenatchee says the application does meet city code, and Grace City Church leader Kyle Strong says his church wants to be good neighbors.
There are a lot of concerns about noise.
Yes, sir.
Would the applicant have any objection to agreeing that there's not going to be any outdoor amplified music or noise on the site for the school?
Well, in that regard, I'd say I would expect that we would be treated under the noise ordinance just like everybody else. Again, we don't anticipate having any outdoor concerts or anything like that. Just again, the hours of operation typical of a school. We don't anticipate will be a problem. We want to be good neighbors. We want to be courteous and considerate of those around us as well. And so the expectation would be the current city code already provides for noise ordinance and already provides for noise disturbance and nuisance. And so I would think that would be sufficient for us to operate under.
Andy Kottkamp is the city's hearing examiner. He plans on making a ruling within the next couple of weeks. A 68-year-old Moses Lake man is charged with multiple counts of possessing child sexual abuse material. His name is Michael Allen Boyer. He was arrested Tuesday after local, state, and federal agencies served a search warrant on his home in the 4200 block of Airway Drive Northeast in Moses Lake. The Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force in Seattle allegedly cataloged child porn material that was sent across Boyer's online devices last September. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the search of Boyer's home found at least 11 instances of illicit online material and alleges that more than 100 video files have been uploaded from his IP address. He is now in jail in Grant County facing 15 counts of illegal possession of child pornography. Wenatchee Police Chief Steve Crown is going to retire from office effective June 14th after 8 years steering the department and 33 years in law enforcement. Chief Crown started out as a patrol officer right here in Wenatchee, and then he became a fish and wildlife officer where he headed the agency's entire enforcement division. And then in 2016, he returned to the Wenatchee Valley as the chief of police. He spoke with our very own Jefferson Robbins about the differences between the two jobs.
One day you would be over in the sagebrush of eastern Washington, and the next day you could literally be on the San Juan Islands working salmon fishing. Yeah, there's differences in the type of enforcement, but it all comes down to knowing the laws of the state and being able to enforce them in a very proactive way. That's, I think, the biggest difference between, let's say, conventional law enforcement and natural resource law enforcement is a lot of the calls for service in, say, municipal policing. A lot of that is call driven, meaning you're getting dispatched to a lot of different calls. Not so much in a natural resource law enforcement world where a lot of it is proactive work, which really drives a lot of game wardens, and that's what is really exciting about that job is you're really being proactive out there and protecting the resource.
Did you want to come back to the Wenatchee Valley for specific purposes, family, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. When I asked my wife, when I heard that Tom Robbins was going to retire, I asked her, I said, hey, I was informed that there's an opportunity over in Eastern Washington, and she said, I asked her, do you want me to apply? And she said, absolutely. This is something that we both agreed upon would be great for us to finish out both of our careers in coming over here. So competed for the job, and here I am.
The Wenatchee Police Department has grown in the number of officers by about 10, from 38 when you came in as chief to 48 now. Does that reflect a different kind of needs in the city that you've seen come into play since you came on as chief?
Yeah, I mean, there's been obviously the growth that has happened. The old station annexation is part of that. I think that there's been increasing need on many fronts. The calls for service have gone up considerably. I think when I first started here, there were somewhere in the neighborhood of about 18,000 to 19,000 calls for service. We're up around knocking on 24,000 calls for service right now. Mental health continues to be an issue. I think fentanyl is a big issue. I think from 2022 to 2023, we had a 12% crime rate increase. I think that there's definitely some current concerns in those areas.
A landmark at the famed Omi Gardens County Park is no more. The Yol Lodge, that old rustic shelter just inside the front gates of Omi Garden. It was first built in the 1930s by Herman Omi, the original park owner and landowner. Well, the old Yol Lodge collapsed late last fall after several years. It's been closed off to the public because it was simply unsafe. It became structurally unsound, and park supporters were seeking fundraising sources to save the old lodge, but it didn't make it through. It fell down on October 31st. Park managers say a lot of elements of the lodge are still there. The old fireplace lived through, the patio floors, most of the furniture. The former lodge space will be repurposed when Omi Gardens opens in just a couple of weeks. And finally, Monday, April 1st, circle it on your calendar. That's when the Wenatchee Foothills Trail System will reopen to the general public. Of course, they close the trails at the beginning of December every year, so mule deer can have their habitat without being bothered by folks like us. So while the trails will be open, there is some scheduled work that'll be taking place this spring. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust, they're going to be performing some trail maintenance across the foothills. They'll start with Saddle Rock and work their way across. Sections of the trails will be closed intermittently during that time. And also the Chelan County PUD is going to be replacing some of those big towers that carry electricity. Currently, a lot of those are made of wood. They're going to replace those with fire-resistant steel structures on the trail system, but that's not expected to cause any closures. Monday, April 1st, you can hit the foothills. Enjoy. That's the news at 18 minutes. After the hour, the news with Grant will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, 5, 6, and 10 on television. A lot of people consume their TV on the World Wide Web. I'm all for that, but you can still watch your news. Our news will be up and running on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com, right around 5 o'clock. It'll be on our Facebook page. It'll be in our YouTube page. It'll be in our app, and by golly, that's how you get to do our app. There's a QR code. Pick up your smartphone, and you're good to go. You will have the app downloaded. We also have an Instagram page, and we're on Twitter, also known as X, and all that other good stuff. And if something out there warrants our attention, get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. It is opening day of the baseball season. That means I'm in a great mood. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Honda you want is here, so drive in the moment with the versatile CR-V or Accord. Both named a Car and Driver 10 Best. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Minutes after the hour, opening day of the baseball season. Let's go, batter up, play ball, all 30 teams. We'll see action today, including, of course, the Seattle Mariners. Now, the Mariners were eliminated, as you remember by now, from the postseason play last year on the last weekend of the season. Well, it is the opening day, so hope springs eternal. And here's this year's hype video, and this will probably get you in the mood.
With one stroke, it can create storms.
Gone! Lightning strikes immediately!
Unleash earthquakes.
47,000 fans are going crazy!
And claim victories.
The Mariners win it! Mariners win! The Mariners win it!
It holds great power. To unite, take flight, and ignite.
You can't forget about it!
I'm ready to get back to war every day. I'm ready to go to war with my teammates.
Once you see that pride go off, when the fans go crazy, everybody feeds off of that.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what other people think or say. We know what we have in that clubhouse, and I think Mariners fans have a lot to be excited about.
Tridents up.
I, for one, am ready. The Mariners start out this year, by the way, with a 7-game homestand. 4 games against Boston, 3 games against the Guardians. First pitch tonight, 7:10 on Root Sports. All right, Kraken hockey. Boy, it's too bad the Kraken can't play the Mighty Ducks every year. Of course, they played a couple nights ago, and they beat them 4-0. They can play them again tonight. Also in Seattle, it is the Kraken and the Mighty Ducks at 7 o'clock on Root Plus, because Root Sports will be having the Mariner game. All right, the Wenatchee Wild begin their push for the WHL Championship Series tomorrow night. Game 1 of their best-of-7 series, the first round against the Kelowna Rockets. The Wild and the Rockets, they finished just 1 point apart in the standings. And the voice of the Wild, Austin Andrade, says they will be a tough out.
Very good top line. We mentioned Andrew Crystal a moment ago. T.J. Ginla, who's the son of Jerome Ginla, who's a Hall of Famer from the Calgary Flames. He's been one of their top scorers throughout the season. So they have a lot of firepower at the top, and they have some solid depth as well. Probably not the kind of depth that you'll see on those top 3 teams above us, but they've got some pretty good depth on that team. And we mentioned Jari Kikkonen, who's been excellent in goal, almost 30 wins for him on the season. So a 5 seed, yes, a team that didn't quite get home ice, but certainly no slouch for a first-round matchup.
Austin also reminded me that playoff hockey is completely different from hockey in the regular season.
When we moved up from the BCHL to the Western Hockey League, I've told people everything you love about the sport, the speed, the intensity, that gets ramped up with the move to the new level. When you move to the playoffs, everything you love about the sport, the speed, the intensity, in a lot of cases, especially late in the series, the desperation to keep your season going, that gets ramped up again. So everything that there is to love about hockey, you're going to see it at full tilt when you go to a playoff game.
Wild and Rockets, game 1 tomorrow at the Town Tennis Center. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. All right, here's your prep schedule for today. First of all, this game at the top has been moved. You see Kashmir at Chelan. They have moved that to Kashmir because of all the rain in Chelan yesterday. The field is unplayable, so that's actually going to be Chelan at Kashmir on the pitch at 4 o'clock. All the rest of it is exactly as you see. Quincy at Cascade, Fred at Grandview, Pateros at Bridgeport, and Orville and Okanagan in boys soccer today. Prep baseball schedule. OMAC will travel to Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young at 4 o'clock. Lake Roosevelt and Bridgeport at 4:30 in baseball. A single game between Orville and Brewster up north at the border at 4:30, and Manson will host Okanagan at 4:30. And a prep softball schedule. Here it is. OMAC is at Tenasket at 4 o'clock. At 4:30, it's Lake Roosevelt and Bridgeport. Brewster at Orville, and Manson at Okanagan. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 28th day of March. It's the 88th day of the year. So today is World Piano Day because it's the 88th day of the year. Thank you, Bartolomeo Cristofori, who is a harpsichordist. But he didn't like the fact that you could not control the volume of the harpsichord. So in 1700, he came up with the idea of having hammers hit the strings, and thus the piano was born. We have a special treat for you this morning. We have about a 1-minute clip of my nephew Jack as the featured soloist playing last month with the Puget Sound Symphony Orchestra. Here's my nephew Jack. I believe he is performing Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. Here's a little clip. I apologize, that was not Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. That was actually, I believe, Shostakovich's Piano Concerto No. 1. But now you know where Jack inherited all of his musical talents. Happy World Piano Day. 28 minutes after the hour today in history, it's 1933, 91 years ago today. His name was Dr. Albert Voss. He was a German, a native of Germany. He immigrated to the United Kingdom in his early 20s, became a dentist, practiced as a dentist in Manchester, England, but being also a German citizen, he would fly back and forth between England and Germany to get, well, painkillers, anesthetics that weren't available in Great Britain, but were available in Germany. And Dr. Voss became a drug smuggler. He was grabbing all these painkillers in Germany that weren't available in England and flying them over to England and selling drugs. And the authorities were closing in on Dr. Voss. And on this date in 1933, 91 years ago, he was on board the City of Liverpool airplane en route from Brussels to Surrey, England. He goes to the back of the airplane and Dr. Voss sets the airplane on fire. It is believed to be the first airplane ever crashed because of sabotage. Well, they never did charge him because, as it turns out, he was dead. That was 91 years ago today. Basketball history, 74 years ago today. The Community College of New York defeats Bradley University 71-68 to win the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Why is that so remarkable? Because a couple of weeks earlier, the Community College of New York had defeated Bradley 69-61 to win the NIT tournament. Now back then, this was 1950, back then the NIT tournament was considered much more prevalent, much more important to win. A lot of people turned down bids to go to the NCAA tournament to play in the NIT tournament. The Community College of New York becomes the very first and only basketball team to win both the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship and the NIT Championship. And finally, this is the 45th anniversary of 3 Mile Island, still the most significant accident in U.S. commercial nuclear power plant history. Almost a meltdown, didn't quite happen. So it was a coolant leak. Everybody went crazy. Whew. 3 Mile Island freaked me out back in 1979. And finally, let's do some birthdays, shall we? Gussie Busch was born in this state in 1899, the brewing magnate who built the Anheuser-Busch Company into the largest brewery in the world. He ran the company from 1946 to 1975. He's also the owner of the St. Louis Cardinals. And even though the Cardinals were the dominant baseball team in St. Louis, there were two, it was the Cardinals and the Browns. The Cardinals didn't own their stadium. The Browns owned Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, and the Cardinals had to pay rent to the Browns. Well, when the St. Louis Browns moved and he bought the Cardinals, he bought Busch Stadium, but he wanted to rename it Budweiser Stadium, and Major League Baseball said you can't do that. You can't have a corporate naming right to a baseball stadium. Believe it or not, that's what they said. So you know what he did? He named it Busch Stadium after himself, and then they created Busch Beer. That's a nice workaround. Gussie Busch, born in the state in 1899. Marlon Perkins, this was absolutely required television watching when I was a kid on Saturdays or Sundays. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. He was the host from 1963 to 1985. Every once in a while, I catch an episode on YouTube. Marlon Perkins, born in the state in 1905. And happy 38th birthday to Stefani Joanne Angelina Giovanotto. She is 38. You know her as Lady Gaga. She holds one significant claim to fame. She did the halftime show of Super Bowl 51. 150 million people watched it, making it the most viewed musical event ever. She's 38 years old today. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They know what they're doing. Trust them to the experts. They're good folks. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services, also very good at what they do. Pool to Spa Services on Worthen Street, not far from the Pybus Market. And thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog Magnotti, my interview with Ed Nags, who's going to run a long way for a good cause. But first, Helen the dog needs a home. It's Paws for Pets.
Paws for Pets is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Mary Maid's Doghouse Brewery, Leavenworth, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
Hi, I'm Coralie with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager here, and this beautiful silver lab mix girl is Helen. And as you can see, Helen loves chewing on bones. She's really playful. We think she's about 3, and she still acts like she's probably 1. She loves stuffed animals and balls. Playing fetch is her absolute favorite game, and she will play it for hours. Helen came to us as a stray about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and when we got her, this poor girl was so skinny, so we have been working on that, and she is already looking so much better, getting all healthy, and she's just really blossomed as we've gotten to know her. She's really loving, and all she wants to do is spend time with you. We believe that she's had maybe a litter of puppies. You can tell because she sort of has that maternalness about her. She's really just loving and sweet. She gets along great with our other dogs here. In playgroup, she is with our gentle dainties, so she's very polite. She's energetic and bouncy, but also polite, if you can imagine that. She actually kind of has a line of volunteers waiting to walk her. She is our most popular dog right now with volunteers. because she's so easy on leash, and she just I don't know, she just exudes just loving you and wanting to be with you, and and people are just really responding to that with her. So she's beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside. She's great at knowing how to sit. She will do that instantly when you ask her. She's fantastic at that. And she's really smart, and moreover, she just really wants to please. So if you want to give her a bone to chew on, or throw a ball for her, or introduce her to your dog if you have one, we would love for you to come down and meet her. We are open Thursday through Tuesday from 11 till 6, so please come and meet her.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Pause for Pets is presented by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, Mary Maid's Doghouse Brewery Leavenworth, and Club Crow Bar and Grill.
This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, the recent incident involving Brittany Griner's release from a Russian prison got me thinking. Now, a lot of folks were angry that Griner was released while the former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan remained imprisoned. Well, what this reminded me of is that Vladimir Putin is no dope. Vlad's willingness to only consider the return of the Merchant of Death arms dealer for only Griner and not Whelan seemed to be a desire on Vlad's part to undermine Biden's approval rating, as Vlad knows that decision would be pretty unacceptable. For many Americans, that exchange was not something we wanted to see. Now, we may not like old Vlad, but it's going to be a mistake to underestimate him. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Welcome back to the program. We're here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. So we're at a baseball diamond. We got a baseball legend to my immediate left. You're thinking, okay, we're going to talk a little baseball with Ed Nags. Well, we're going to talk a little baseball with Ed Nags. That's down the road, but that's not really why we're here. Ed Nags is going to do something really, really cool for a really, really good cause. It's close to Ed's heart. First of all, Ed Nags, everybody, former Apple Sox coach, Wenatchee High School baseball coach. Now he assists with Corvalis in the West Coast League in the summertime. I haven't seen you. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. No complaints. No complaints. As do you. It's great to be back here, and certainly beyond this facility, spending so much time here. But a great day, and yeah, it's good to be with you on a baseball.
You lived in Wenatchee Valley a long time, but you're a California native, and you've been really mobile lately. Do you miss Wenatchee much? We don't get to see you much anymore.
Correct. I miss it a ton. Yeah, I mean, I spent most of my adult life here, and so, raised the kids here, and coached and taught, and I do love it here. Just not the time to be living here for me right now, but I've been back visiting a lot, see the kids and come back and do stuff like this. So, and then I've had a couple opportunities to be back here coaching, so that's been fun. But it looks like we don't this year for some reason in the schedule.
Yeah, we don't play Corvalis this year, but you always got a big hand whenever you were introduced or came out to coach third base when you were with Corvalis.
Maybe they were glad to see I was gone and it's somebody new. No, it's been special. Yeah, those days to come back and be on this field, it was special.
People are saying, man, Ed looks good, and there's a reason Ed looks good. He's been running his butt off. He's been in training for something that I think is fantastic. You, starting May 1st, are going to slap on the running shoes, I'm assuming a new pair, and you're going to run from Wenatchee, Washington to Corvalis, Oregon. You're going to run the whole route. 419 miles.
419 miles it is, yes.
First of all, and we'll tell you why in just a minute, how's the training going? You ran the LA Marathon, was it?
I did. That was on
St. Patty's Day?
Yeah, St. Patty's Day. So I did that. I did it last year. And then knowing that the opening day run was coming up in May, and I thought, what should I be doing? And it made sense to stay on the regimen of being ready for that marathon in March, and then just do a little different training as it leads up to May 1st. But so yeah, it just kept me training like I should. So
you look great for a guy of your advanced age. Let's talk about the inspiration for you to do this. It's a personal story, and if I get too close, Ed, let me know. But You got involved with the organization that's going to be benefiting your run in a personal way. Talk about that.
Well, there's two organizations that the opening day run will benefit. The first one is Trillium Family Services, which is an organization that out of Oregon that helps adolescents and their families deal with their mental and behavioral health and just all those things that might entail. And I was introduced to them because my son Corey spent time there, spent over like a month and a half there years ago.
Changed his life.
Yeah, he would tell you if you asked him today that saved his life. Yeah, he didn't think he was going to graduate from high school when he was young. This is his sophomore year in high school, and struggling with anxiety and depression and just mental health issues that so many adolescents are. And so we were fortunate after a stay in Seattle Children's the summer before, where they told us that we should look for more of a residential type treatment to help. And it happened to be in Corvalis, Oregon. I wasn't coaching there then, but that's where Corey ended up going. And like you say, it changed his life, and I've always wanted to do something to help them. I haven't been someone that's been able to just write a check and really help an organization. I thought I could use this platform here of baseball, the Northwest, the West Coast League, and try and do something to help them out. That would be Organization 1 and Organization 2, which is familiar to many around here, which is only 7 seconds. You know, their home is in Chelan. I mean, where Trillium works in the state of Oregon, only 7 seconds. I mean, they're working worldwide.
That's a significant organization doing great work.
Yeah, I mean, and they're trying to basically eliminate loneliness. And they're trying to stop that epidemic that is so prevalent in society and here in the United States. And I came across them after I learned about them 3 years ago, after one of our former Apple Sox families, the Gebbers family, John and his wife Nikki, lost their son to suicide. And you want to help, what can I do? And the family had come out and said, if you would like to do something in Cade's name, please donate to only 7 seconds. I'd never heard of them, and they were a young organization, but so I looked into them, and I didn't care at the time. I donated, but then as I got to know more and more about them, that became an organization. I thought, that is someone that I can, get behind. And then, it wasn't until, about a year and a half ago where I really, because I've had this idea of doing this run for quite some time, but it all came to me that I knew exactly why I wanted to do that run, other than something that was kind of difficult and silly to do and see if I could do it and drum up some excitement for the West Coast League season. But I thought, really, why would you do something like that? But those two organizations, one that is paired with the Apple Sox, because only 7 seconds, the Apple Sox work together during the year. And then down in Corvalis, we do different events and things with the Trillium Family Services, it turns out. So that's neat. And so I thought I want to do everything I can to get money and awareness, certainly for adolescent mental health, and get finances to those two groups to do the great work that they do.
You could do almost anything. You could hold a charity softball game. You could hold a car wash. You could do any number of things to draw attention to those two great organizations. You decided you're going to run. You're going to run from Wenatchee to Corvalis, which is a long, long run. Now, you are a runner. You've always been a runner as long as I can remember. You run just to keep in shape, and you like it. Was that just a natural fit? I mean, I want to help these people out, so I'm going to run from Wenatchee to Corvalis.
Well, it seemed like kind of a crazy thing to do.
It's a crazy thing to do, Ed.
Right. It's 419 miles. But I wanted to do something that was difficult, that not everyone can do, but also that would take some, I think everything's kind of mental, doing well. And I've been fortunate, but I know I struggle at times, like we all do at times. But I know for me, getting up in the morning and getting in my run is something that really gets my day off to a good start. You know, and my dad a long time ago said you should go out every day and sweat. You know, so but that's always been my thing to do. And I thought, well, I'm going to do something a little crazy. Hopefully, it'll get some attention, but also the people look and say, hey, this guy's doing that. I can at least give and and help out.
Sure.
So 10 miles in the morning and 5 in the afternoon, split it up so I don't think it's as difficult as maybe it could be. And I have a...
Please tell me you have a support staff going alongside. You're just not going to camp on the side of the highway.
My logistics coordinator.
Thank you.
So that is my, the best son my parents had, my older brother. So he's retired, but I thought maybe he would, I called him here about a year ago. Said, I got this idea I'm going to do, but I'm going to need some help. I wonder if you would maybe drive an RV that I'm going to rent, because I'll need to be traveling. This is kind of a traveling hotel. Would you do that for a week or two? And he says, well, how long is it going to be? I go, well, basically the whole month. He goes, I'm doing the whole thing. I said, great. So he's a Bakersfield native now, but he and I will drive up, grab the RV right there in Albany, Oregon, right outside of Corvalis, travel up here to Wenatchee and get here about the 30th, and then we'll leave on the 1st. So yeah, the brother's going to be handling logistics. He's excited, and it'll be us too, basically. We might have a visitor or two along the way here and there, but it's kind of us making the trek.
We're going to be here broadcasting Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on May 1st, that very morning from 7 to 8 a.m. You're more than welcome to come out and watch how the television magic happens, provided there is television excitement and magic happening. And at 7:59, you're down the road. You're off right here from Paul Thomas Senior Field.
Yeah, we'll do the first 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Allie with the Apple Sox claims that she wants to run the first 10 with me, so let's hold her to that. Even though, bless her heart, she'll be running the Wenatchee Marathon in mid-April, which only gives her 2 weeks. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be a little difficult to do that, but she says she's going to do that.
There are any number of ways to get from Wenatchee to Corvalis, but eventually you can't avoid like I-5 and things like that. Do you actually have a map drawn out of your 15 miles a day and how you're going to go about doing it?
Right, we know exactly where the 10 miles stop and where we will hang out for lunch and the afternoon, and where those 5 evening miles, where we finish and where are we going to park the RV. I mean, we will be maybe talking to a farmer or two and asking if we could park on their road or on their farm for the evening. There is some rural running, which is good. I don't mind that a lot. When you say I-5, we will be on it for just the stretch of going over the river in Portland. That's it. Because then we'll leave Wenatchee and basically go down through Quincy and to the Tri-Cities. So we'll take that route that goes down, we will not be on I-90 or anything like that. And down through not into the Tri-Cities, we'll bump over to Benton City, down, and then there's Highway 14, which is AKA,
I believe?
Highway 14, also known as the Lewis and Clark Highway.
Yes, yes.
Which is on the north side of 84. I mean, we have 84 that goes along Oregon, and you can't run on 84. No. It's illegal, and you wouldn't want to.
So you're going to be on the Washington
I'm on the
State
Washington side all the way until we will get, so that's 14 the whole way, and then we'll hop off it when you get close to Camas, because that gets pretty busy, and there's some side roads that parallel, and it'll get us to Portland, and then Martin Luther King Boulevard is basically 99. So Highway 99 will be on the east side of 5, and then we cross over to 99 west, kind of as you get to southern Portland, and then that takes you all through the small towns down into Corvalis. So that'll be
a couple more questions for you. I find this terribly fascinating. You have rest days, built-in rest days. You're not going to do this like 7 days a week, right? You're going to have a couple of days where you're just going to let your body heal, because you're asking a lot. Even for a guy in good shape like you are, you're still asking. That's asking a lot for your body.
No, we're not.
You're not. You're going to do it every day.
Every day. I mean, that was part of it too, the consistency. It's baseball, and we play it every day.
Sure.
And the mental health piece of being able to, hey, you're not going to have any rest. You've got to do that. Yeah, so it's daily. It'll be
diet.
daily.
How do you? I mean, you're asking a lot of your body, so calorie intake and all that good stuff. You're going to be eating like a horse, or?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
I've been nailing that down. I mean, rest is huge. What you eat. Also, I'm not running to beat any time.
Right.
So one of the biggest things will be to keep my heart rate down as low as I can. So I'm not going to be going very fast. So that'll help as far as repairing every night, that I didn't go crazy. But yeah, I haven't done this before. I'm talking to people that have, but it's me. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be an interesting story as we go.
How do people get involved? How do they help you out? How do they donate? How do they keep track of your progress? All that good stuff. Give me some of that good, gooey, juicy details there that we need to know.
All right. Well, the website is openingdayrun.com.
I found it right away.
Did you? There you go.
You got a Facebook page. You have a Facebook page.
There's an Instagram. There's Instagram, Facebook, as well as X, aka Twitter. My daughter Emily is great on the social media side, so we've done posting, not too much to bug people, but we've had some things so far, maybe once a week. But we'll be posting twice a day during the run, and then on the website there's a spot where you kind of follow where we've been all the 28 days.
And we can check in with you, right? I mean, I'd love to on a regular basis get on board on like Zoom or something and check in.
Right.
With you.
Yeah, and we're planning to do that.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we'll be able to do that.
And again, on May 1st, we'll be live here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for the entire morning show. Ed will be leaving right before the show goes off the air. You'll be able to follow him the whole time along. Oh, here's another way you can help. Here you go, Ed. Here's $20.
Wow. Thank
to go
you.
to Ed Nags and his opening day run. That's how you do it, folks. I want to make sure I'm doing my part, buddy, because you know I love you. Real
Thank you.
quickly, before we cut you loose, opening day is the 28th. How do you like the Mariners? They just missed the playoffs. One game last year. They opened up against the Red Sox at home. I know you still follow baseball passionately. How do you like the Yankees here?
I did fly up yesterday into Seattle. I had to get up early, and I got up at 3 anyway, but also I grew up in Los Angeles, so I'm a Dodger fan. I'm not, crazy. I'm a fan of baseball, certainly a Mariners fan. So I did get up and watch that
the games in
a
South
little
Korea.
bit of that game in over in South Korea, and then followed that yesterday. I mean, it's again, just that excitement of opening day and the name of the run. That was something. It took me a while. What am I going to name this? And it just hit me one night when I woke up and was thinking of what the name should be. But opening day run. Opening day. There's
optimism, hope, youth. Hope's a great word.
And
that's a great word.
I mean, I think opening day for me, it's one of the best phrases in the English language, and doesn't need any introduction. I mean, if you talk to somebody about opening day, they know what it is. You talk to a baseball fan and say opening day, and they
light
you.
up.
They smile.
Yeah.
Exactly. So other sports have their beginning, their season openers, but baseball is different. It's kind of signifies the beginning of spring and hope, like you said. That my team this might be their year, and so for me, along with baseball and then mental health, I mean, if we have that opening day mentality, and I've always told my teams this, the Apple Sox and even in Corvalis, where I talk about having an opening day mentality and an opening day feeling.
Every day.
Yeah, hard to do.
Yeah,
there isn't a baseball player that started opening day and lacked confidence. Yeah. It's opening day. Because I don't have yesterday beat me up when I was 0 for 4 or whatever, and life's that way too. But if we can get up every day and have that opening day feeling, I think that's good. And I know, it's exciting. I mean, the Dodgers kind of quick pitched everybody and had the opening day early. It was kind of weird, but certainly when the real one is coming up for everyone, the Mariners and everybody, I mean, it's exciting, and you hope. Yeah, the Mariners continue knocking on that door. It's not easy. Everyone expects people to, like the Dodgers, people down there upset because they don't win the World Series and they think, yeah, it's a waste. It's harder.
I have the double-edged sword. I'm a Yankee fan. We haven't won it since 2009, but you know that. It's Nags opening day run. Again, it starts on May 1st right here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, and it'll eventually run 419 miles to Corvalis. We'll be in touch. That still sounds insane to me. I get tired driving 419 miles. We'll be in touch with Ed throughout the entire progress to keep them up to date. We'll put links on our website so people can find it real easy.
Thank you.
And have fun. I guess we'll see you on May 1st, if not before.
You got that. Thank you.
All right. Ed Nags, who's in better shape than I am, and he's slightly older. And we'll be right back.
Marathon in the books, 26.2. Not sure that's smart to do that. 15 miles a day for the opening day run. Sounds a lot easier. Anyways, May 1st. See you then.
Abby says thank you to all the hometown heroes making our community so great. If you know a deserving hometown hero, shoot us an email, hero@abbeys.com. Every week, we'll thank some of these heroes with a free giant pizza. Abby's, proud to serve your community. Be a hero tonight. Treat your family and friends to Abby's famous hometown hero pizza. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers for a one-of-a-kind legendary flavor. Visit abbeys.com for a special pizza at a very special price.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
All right, getting ready to wrap up a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on opening day of the baseball season. I renewed my MLB account yesterday. It's the best $125 I spend every year because I can watch any baseball game I want, any Major League Baseball game I want that isn't already being televised like on ESPN or Root or whatever. So, and I can bring up like 4 or 5 games on my big screen TV. I am in sports nirvana. And just so we all know we're all on the same page, especially for those of you who are new to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, you see my shirt here. I'm a Yankee now, and I've been a Yankee since I was about 6 or 7 years old. I make no apologies. I'm not changing. I love the Mariners. I follow the Mariners. They're my second favorite team, but I'm a Yankee first and foremost. And I know I get a lot of grief for that, not only in the general public, but among my friends and family and coworkers. I don't care. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So you will see the occasional Yankee item on my desk and perhaps right here. Go Yankees. Now that that's out of the way, it is still 36 degrees. There is some pockets of light rain in some locations, not here in the Wenatchee Valley. Omac's getting a little bit of light rain, we're told. It's pretty mild there. From the National Weather Service, let's take a look at the forecast. Slight chance of some light rain today, maybe in the late afternoon hours or right now. A little patchy fog, it'll burn off. Right now the snow level is at 2,200 feet. It's going to go up to above pass level. So we're actually going to see a couple of sun breaks by the end of the day today. And our forecast high of 56 is exactly normal for this time of the year. It was only 42 was all we got to on Wednesday. It was a cold, raw day, but really not that much rain. Tonight, slight chance of rain, not enough to really mention anything. Snow level is going to go down again, but we won't have any precipitation, any energy out there, so we'll top out. We'll get down to about 35. Still a little bit of active weather on Friday. Friday is going to be the transition day. Slight chance of some light rain, but we'll see a considerable amount of sunshine on Friday, maybe a degree or two warmer than today with a high of 57. And the weekend is setting up really nice. It's a big ridge, an upper level ridge. It's going to move in from the Gulf of Alaska. It's going to come in Friday afternoon. That's going to set us up for a beautiful stretch of weather for quite some time. Saturday, just a few clouds. Outside of that, lots of gooey good sunshine. We'll top off at 61. A little chilly for the overnight lows because, again, we won't have the blankets, so we'll have the clear skies. That makes the overnight lows dip down a little on the cool side, but it's still early spring. Sunday for the Easter holiday, 65 and lots of sunshine, 40 for the overnight low on Sunday night. We go into Monday, which, by the way, is April, And April looks pretty good. Now, the long-term forecast for April, we've talked about this. The Climate Prediction Center says April is going to be warmer than normal and drier than normal, and it's certainly looking that way with highs in the 70s on Monday and Tuesday before we cool back down Wednesday. And that's it for us. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sensational Stockholm. We are in Gamestan, which is actually the largest and oldest medieval city here in Europe. We'll explore Stockholm's Old Town. You'll be wandering around and then you'll end up in a beautiful square like this. And try not to get lost.
Excuse me, sir. How do you say the street name?
Before riding the future way up and over.
Jen, we've made it to the very top.
Then we'll adventure into the forest for a wildlife safari and a midsummer meal. We're on the edge of a forest about 30 minutes outside of Stockholm. Then very carefully find adventure on the rooftops.
No railing.
No railing. It's an epic Scandinavian trip you won't want to miss. From the streets, the water, and the rooftops of Stockholm. So if you're ready, let's roll. Welcome to